and he broke his back in 4 places, and he had cut the back of his head open, and he was just bleeding profusely. And he basically just blew up his hand, is how the hand specialist said. He just blew up his hand. And the specialist said, you've lost 60% of the use of your hand for the rest of your life. Best case scenario.
He could barely open and close.
Yeah, he was just like,
right when he fell.
yeah, and his hand was numb. He had no feeling, the nerves endings had died. So I asked the doctor and the therapist, I said, well, what if we factor in good nutrition? What if we take herbs, like real strong, potent herbs, and we get the juicer going, and like, what do you think his chances are that to turn this around? And they thought that was kind of funny, and they made a joke, and they were like, hey, to him, they were like, you should drink that stuff by the gallon. And I go, oh, he will. Believe me, he will.
Oh, she was gonna make it one way or another.
Yeah, I was like, if I had to like, just like, if I had to pour it down his throat, I was gonna do that. So anyway, we got herbs into his body. That's just a whole another video right now. So I'm just gonna say we had juices like this just going into his body, just every hour, on the hour, he was drinking a glass like this. And I would jar it up and just do that along with herbs and tinctures. There's herbs that you can take that will heal bones, broken bones. So he had bone fragments from a 12-year-old injury in his hand. He had broken that hand 12 years before, and he had these bone fragments, and they thought he was going to need multiple surgeries. Right. Problem. So old with the new, and the doctor said, I don't want to touch that old injury because I might make it worse. So for now, we're just going to leave it, but he's going to need multiple surgeries for this hand. And so we got the juicer fired up. We got those herbs. BF&C, bone, flesh, and cartilage from Dr. Christopher. You can buy it on Amazon. And we got that into him every day, 3 times a day, every day, along with all the juices. And also some nerve regeneration formula from alphaherbs.com. And we would give him the herbs for his nerves. And we'd give it to him, and we'd see this like rippling, and it would just, his whole hand would like involuntarily ripple all the way to his fingertips. And those nerves came back to life. And yeah, and so he got full use of his hand back. His back recovered. His back, and he was way ahead of schedule, got that back brace off way, way ahead of schedule, got full use of his hand back. It was truly, truly an amazing thing. So, you know, just don't underestimate the power of the human body to heal. But we have to give it what it needs. Our body heals and repairs by what we put in our mouths. While you're sleeping, your body is healing and repairing. So you want to put these things in here, like cucumbers.
Fuel to do it.
Exactly, like cucumbers contain silica. This is present in every single cell in your body. So we want this in our system. And again, this blood building, blood cleansing, dandelion green. People ask me, where do I get this? I get this all the time. I actually can't think of a time I've ever gone into Whole Foods and not found dandelion green. 2 different kinds. And basically health food stores that carry produce will have dandelion green like this. People ask me, do I go out in the yard and pick it? No, like you can buy this in bunches. It's like $2 for a whole big bunch of it.
We also have wheatgrass. What do we do with wheatgrass?
Yes, now this wheatgrass contains all the components of blood. So it just gets in and it cleans out, flushes out toxins and builds your blood and gets rid of old poisons and toxins. And that's why we want wheatgrass in, because it contains the components of our blood. And the other, you know what, there's a bonus to wheatgrass.
What is that?
That is, it helps you not to have gray hair. I am 47 years old. And my hair is still its natural color. I don't dye it, I don't highlight it, nothing. Like, this is it.
What was that story about the lady you were telling me? You said she was...
Anne Wigmore.
Okay.
She was in her 50s and she got a disease in her intestines and she got very sick and her hair turned just completely gray. And she started researching and went headlong into wheatgrass. She's known for wheatgrass. She has the Hippocrates Institute. She's passed away of an accident. But anyway, she started wheatgrass juicing and just doing it really faithfully, large amounts of it, and her hair went back to its natural color.
Wow.
So she talks about that in her book.
So it not only keeps your hair from turning gray, but it could also reverse it
yes.
from being gray.
Yes, and the thing with anything like that, like if you're gonna do wheatgrass, if you're gonna do wheatgrass, be consistent. It's not like, oh, I'll get it, I'll do it once a week. Like every day, consistency is key. You can't do this hit or miss approach, treat it like taking an aspirin and expect to get great results.
Who would have thought that with all the crazy medical technology we've come out with, it's just every day these multi-million-dollar hospital facilities are built with all this equipment, and the components of your blood are found in weeds and grass.
Right.
It's pretty incredible.
I know, it's crazy. So yeah, let's get this juicer cranked back up again. It's just, oh, and another thing, broccoli. I mean, put that broccoli in the juicer. It's cruciferous, which means it's anti-cancer. So, you know, the American Cancer Society will tell you, get broccoli into your system. It helps prevent cancer. Well, just think of it. If you have a disease and it will prevent, this vegetable will help prevent that disease, then what if you already have it, then maybe you need more of it, not less. So get that in the juicer. Now, there's two ways to do this blood building juice. If you're gonna do all these vegetables, you can do like a spicier drink and put some garlic in, and maybe not this whole bulb at first. You wanna work your way up to larger amounts. Unless you're so sick you don't care, just get it in you. And then the jalapeno, it helps circulate this through your blood.
That's a little scary for some people because not everyone can handle too much heat.
Right.
How can we like is there a way we can calm the heat down a little bit?
Yes. So yeah, definitely. Okay. So you got your jalapeno. If putting jalapeno in your juice is just way too hot for you, de-seed your jalapeno, and that'll cut down on the heat drastically. And some jalapenos are hotter than others. There's been times I'll put a whole jalapeno in my juice and I can't even tell it's there. Other times, and other times I'll put like a half of it and I'm like, ah, it burns.
Yeah, you're gonna have to add more juice. This is a
bad one. Yes. Now this purple cabbage, let's throw some of that in there, Tone. Okay. Purple cabbage or red cabbage, this is great for your skin. It's also cruciferous, anti-cancer, and again, we got that dark, deep purple color. This is gonna help build your blood. You wanna get that into your blood building juice for sure. Yeah. And then we got the cucumber. We've talked about that before, how cucumbers contain silica. Great for your skin, great for the nails, great for just your body as a whole. Just get those into the juicer. And
as good as it is for you, it's good in juice. It kind of adds just a crisp flavor. There's really, it's not too much, but it kind of just gives a little nice crisp, cool flavor to it.
Right. Now, is there anything in this juice, Tone, that we didn't tell? Oh, I almost forgot. Oh. All right, so here's the other way to make your blood building juice. If you put all 4 of these in with your blood building juice, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think the flavor might be a little funky.
It's going to be funky. That's exactly it. So you either want to do the garlic and the jalapeno in your blood building juice, or if you want to make it a little bit sweeter with a little bit of spiciness to it, just a tinge, then put your apple and your ginger in, but not all 4, because you're going to go, this is awful. How am I going to choke this down now? This tastes really, as he said, funky. Take you to Funky Town.
Did we talk about red chard?
No, we didn't.
Well,
this is just another great blood builder. Look at this red in here. Look at this. And then we've got this deep green. So you want to throw some chard in there. Red chard, there's rainbow chard, there's regular, but I like to put red chard in my blood building juice just because of that color.
Even if you don't exactly know what it does, if it's got that real deep red, you know it's going to do something good for your blood.
Yeah.
It's going to build your blood.
Yeah, now here's another thing too. We've got this, I almost called celery a cucumber. This is not a cucumber. I do know that. Well, anyway, if you have this is the, people always ask me, what is that juicer? I love it, love it, love it. It's the Omega VRT 350. And the thing is if you put a piece of celery, a whole piece of celery uncut into this juicer, it's gonna wrap around that component in there, and you are not gonna be happy because you have to take your juicer apart and clean it, put it back together, or you're just gonna have this big mess where it's all wrapped around. It gets really pulpy and gross.
Do you remember hearing something? I remember hearing something when we were making juice when I was a kid. I remember you watched a lot of videos about it and stuff, about cutting your vegetables ahead of time, that it's better to cut them right as you're about to juice them.
That's what I do, right.
Preserves the nutrients.
Right.
As soon as you cut them, they
begin to oxidize.
Right.
Yeah. So why not get the most out of your juice? Just cut it as you go. It doesn't. The more you juice, the more often you juice, you'd be surprised the faster you get. You start to learn all of the little tricks and.
You got kale too. What about kale?
Oh man, this is like nature's superfood. You want to get this into your juice. It's also good for weight loss.
And it's full of protein.
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
Yep. Calcium, protein. It's just great. Just good to put in your juice.
A juice full of kale is as effective or more effective than protein you would buy at protein store. I don't know if I should say one.
Your body doesn't have to break it down. It goes right into your bloodstream. Your body can utilize it immediately.
It's all natural. It doesn't. There's no chemicals involved in it.
Yes, exactly. Where you don't know. Sometimes you buy a protein to take after a workout, and there you go. It's like it's got sugar in it, chemicals. So
stuff you can't even read, that you don't even know what it is.
Exactly.
When that kale is going to give you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I didn't know it until I actually went on your website and we plugged in our juice that we were making that night, and we found it. You know, we put the kale in there about what we were making, and we had 25 grams of protein in our juice. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow, we got a whole protein drink here.
Yeah, so if you get on juicerecipes.com and you want to make this juice, this is not necessarily a recipe that's on the site. This is just what to put in the juicer if you're trying to build your blood, both to get healthy and stay healthy. So, or to you know, just, this is good for everybody really. But
what's our extra one we decided? Did we decide to go with the ginger and apple?
We went with the ginger and apple.
Okay.
Yeah, we went with the ginger and apple as opposed to the garlic and the jalapeno.
This is going to be a nicer juice then.
Yes, definitely. This is the happy juice. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about just storing it. Now what I usually do when I usually make a bigger batch than this, but that's going to take a long time. So I've just, as much as we have here, I'll drink one fresh out of the juicer, just right out of the juicer first thing. And then we'll just put the rest of it in this 8-ounce mason jar. And then you want to skim the foam off, because what's going to happen if you don't is that foam's going to just sort of go down, and then you're going to have a space at the top, and you want as little air as possible in this juice. And then you just jar it up like this. And if you're trying to build your red blood count, if someone that you love, you or someone that you love is facing a blood transfusion and you're trying to help them, then get an 8-ounce jar of this and drink it every hour, on the hour. Do, you know, as much as you can, but try to shoot for 8 a day, even 10, and that will give you 80 ounces of blood building juice, just loaded with vitamins, minerals, just everything that you need to get your blood back where it's supposed to be.
Nice and airtight, no oxidation.
Yep, and also it's a great way to lose weight. It's just all around good for you. It's like a natural blood transfusion. So,
a little bit of everything.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, now we're gonna be signing off. So I think we should call this Juicing with TNT.
You think? I think we're a pretty good team.
I think so too. So anyway, we're signing off on our blood building juice video and stay tuned for more videos to come. And we hope that you just have fun doing this, and just tell us your stories. If you got a miracle from doing some of these things that we talked about, let us know. It'll encourage us and it'll encourage other people. We can share your story with others on our website or in the newsletter or Facebook, whatever. Just don't keep it to yourself. And again, we just thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.